Crystal's conversation piece. Come and talk to me. Conversation piece. Crystal's conversation piece. Come and talk to me. Conversation piece.
This will be the best day of your life. Thank you so much for tuning in to Crystal's Conversation Piece. We took a short break for self-care purposes, and now we are back launching a whole grief support series. I'm super excited about this as this is very near and dear to my heart. The entire journey of grief is very important. It's very sensitive to me. And I want you to know that I am certainly concerned about your well-being. And I am here to support you in any way I can, even as a master coach. So let's get right into the conversation for today. Grief support. I've been pondering, there's so many different conversations that we can actually have about grief support as it is multifaceted, right? So literally, I'm like, okay, so I can remember being on ground zero, like day one of my grief journey after my husband passed away. And, so many different emotions are just floating around, so many thoughts, so many questions. It's just a whirlwind of just a whole lot of chaos going on in our minds and our hearts, our thought processes. We're just all over the place generally. Like, in reality, we're just all over the place. 1 minute we're happy, 1 minute we're sad, 1 minute we're confused, 1 minute we have so many questions, we're bewildered, we're exasperated, overwhelmed, and the list goes on, right? I mean, I could just spend all evening listing all the different emotions that one experiences during a loss. And let me just go on to say that I send my condolences to everyone that has experienced a loss. No matter what type of loss it is, it's a huge loss to you. And I want to acknowledge that right now and let you know that I am praying for you and I am here for you. I honestly believe one of the immediate questions that I can remember having is, why me? And why now? I was 48 years old, or I like to say 48 years young, because I am still young. And so it was like, wow, like, what is really going on? And I'm quite sure that that question has possibly entered your mind as well. So let's unpack that very question there. Why me? And then the thought hit me, why not me? Why am I so special? Why am I so different? Why do I feel like I need to be so honored in such a way that trauma does not hit my home ever? Honestly, I had to pull it together and tell myself, get a grip, Crystal. Life happens. Yes, we don't always like it. Yes, we don't always agree with it. However, at the end of the day, stuff happens, life happens. And I'm thankful to God for the positive mindset. I cannot stress this enough. I've been stressing this since our first episode, since our very first conversation, and so it has literally catapulted me into being able to overcome adversity at all costs. The positive mindset. And I want that to set in with you. I want you to meditate on that. because it requires an entire shift in your mindset to shift to being glass half full versus glass half empty. This is a whole game changer. It's a whole life changing system, is what I like to believe it is. It's a whole life changing system that we are reaching to obtain so that we can overcome in spite of everything. Any successful individual will tell you that they overcame obstacles that looked like they were going to be defeated. It looked like they were not going to win it was just over for them. However, many of them, I would beg to differ and say all of them, have some type of positive mindset that is driving them to the win, to the ultimate win. So here we are sitting in grief and not understanding how we got here and why we're here. And, it's a fight. It's a literal fight for your life. It's a literal fight for your home, if you have children. Many of you may have young children, and my heart bleeds for you, saying extra prayers for you, because that is even more challenging. So here we are in our grief, and the question comes up, why me? And so I would like to, and not being insensitive at all, because I can relate to loss. I've lost my mom nearly 7 years ago. And yes, she had been ill, but we were preparing for her to go home. So I still consider that as a sudden loss, because we were not prepared for her death in any type of way in that moment. So, and there have been other losses as well. And I'm not going to go into all of that, but my most recent and most traumatic loss was my husband. So here I am, nearly 21 months into my grief journey. And I'm thankful for the progress, the healing, the wholeness that has manifested in my life. And I am moving forward at this point into my new life, my new journey. And so what does that look like? It started out with the question, why me? And so I came to the resolve, why not me? How did I get there? Well, my journey, when it first began, I realized that I needed to acquire a significant arsenal of support. And that includes a therapist, coaches, mentors, spiritual mentors. I have spiritual mentors that have been down the same road that I'm on right now. And so they know exactly what it feels like to experience the loss that they've had the same loss. Some nearly the same scenario. And so they can relate to me. They allow me, when need be, to sit on the phone and cry and just sit there and silently and don't say anything, and just allow me that space to vent and to release those tears. Early on, within that first year is extremely, extremely challenging. at a loss for better words. It's extremely challenging that first year because you have the first holidays that you're going through without that individual in your life. And so you're still, questioning why this and why that. And so I had to lay that question at the feet of Jesus. And for me, the answer came back because he knew that I would obey him and continue to do his will anyhow. Hence, we are sitting here today on Crystal's Conversation Piece podcast. And I'm sitting here and encouraging you in your grief journey and helping you. So, the proof is in the pudding. God knew that he could trust me. And, early on, those words still meant nothing to me, even though I love God with everything in me. Those words, it let me know that God saw me in a way that I did not see myself. That means a lot. As I went along and got stronger and more healed, of course, those words began to mean more and more to me. And they began to make more and more sense to me. So I want to say to you, don't rush yourself. And I know so many times it hurts so badly that you just want to escape. You just want relief from the pain and the anguish. I get it. I promise you I get it. The best thing to do at this point is to sit in that pain with your arsenal, with your support system, rallying around you and being there for you every step of the way. That is the best thing you can do right now. Have your arsenal. Grief group. I immediately signed up for grief group. I immediately signed up for therapy. I immediately let certain individuals know I need you close to me at all times, and they let me know that they were there for me. And so, that means the world. And they're still here for me. Even almost 2 years in, they're still here for me. And I'm thankful and grateful for that. So the main thing to come away from this conversation today is don't rush yourself. Take your time. Your self-care is so vital right now. And I just want to encourage you that I'm here for you. I'm for you. And I'm with you. God bless you all. Be encouraged. And next week we will get even more into our grief support conversations. Remember, stay light so you can fly. See you next time.